This is the untold story of 10 rifles that reshaped warfare more quietly than bombs or fighter jets. Across decades of conflict, military power has often been measured by tanks, aircraft, and missiles. Yet history shows something different. The true evolution of warfare followed the rifle carried by ordinary soldiers. In this countdown, we explore the weapons that changed tactics, doctrine, and survival itself, and why their influence still shapes battlefields today. Number 10. CZ Bren II. Modern warfare is no longer predictable. Armies fight in cities one day and open terrain the next. Weapons must adapt as quickly as the missions themselves. The CZ Bren II emerged from this reality. Introduced in 2017 by the Czech Republic, the rifle represents Europe's answer to a new generation of modular infantry weapons. Instead of forcing soldiers into a single configuration, it allows operators to adjust the weapon around operational needs. One of its defining strengths is caliber flexibility. Units can configure the rifle for either 5.56 by 45 mm NATO or 7.62 by 39 mm ammunition. That choice may sound technical, but it changes battlefield logistics entirely. NATO interoperability meets compatibility with widely available ammunition used across many regions of conflict. Its short-stroke gas piston system reduces carbon buildup inside the mechanism. That means fewer malfunctions during extended firefights. Reliability is not a luxury in combat. It is survival measured in seconds. The rifle also embraces full ambidextrous controls and modular construction. Stocks, barrels, and accessories can be changed rapidly, allowing adaptation for urban combat, special operations, or conventional infantry roles without replacing the core platform. By 2026, the Bren II had become standard issue for Czech armed forces and gained attention among specialized units abroad. Yet its significance lies less in revolutionary design and more in refinement. It represents evolution rather than disruption. And that raises a question: if incremental improvement defines modern rifles, which weapon first proved adaptability could dominate elite operations? The answer begins with a rifle built for the most demanding military customer on Earth. Number 9. FN SCAR. The FN SCAR was never designed for mass armies. It was created for specialists. In 2004, U.S. Special Operations Command requested a rifle capable of adapting to radically different missions without sacrificing performance. The result was the Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle, better known as the SCAR. Its defining concept was mission-configurable firepower. Operators could swap barrels and change calibers between 5.56 mm and 7.62 mm, depending on operational needs. A single weapon could transition from close-quarters raids to longer-range engagements with minimal modification. Afghanistan and Iraq became its proving grounds. Dust, heat, and extended deployments tested equipment beyond laboratory expectations. Many advanced weapons struggled under these conditions. The SCAR did not. A monolithic rail system allowed seamless integration of optics, lasers, targeting modules, and night vision devices. For the first time, rifles were no longer isolated tools. They became nodes within a broader battlefield network. Here is the surprising reality. Despite advanced engineering, operators often praised the SCAR not for innovation, but for toughness. Desert environments punished moving parts, yet the rifle maintained reliability where others failed. That reputation mattered. Elite units measure equipment by performance under worst-case scenarios, not theoretical advantages. Still, every new rifle is judged against a benchmark platform that dominates military thinking. And the next entry quietly rewrote that standard without changing how a rifle looked. Number 8. HK416. At first glance, the HK416 appears familiar. That familiarity was intentional. Developed by Heckler & Co. in 2004, the rifle retained the ergonomics of the AR-15 platform while fundamentally redesigning how the weapon operated internally. Instead of using a direct impingement gas system, engineers introduced a short-stroke piston mechanism. The difference seems subtle, its consequences were enormous. Traditional systems vent gas directly into the receiver, increasing heat and fouling. The piston system redirected that energy, keeping internal components cleaner and improving reliability during sustained firing. Elite military and counterterrorism units adopted the HK-416 rapidly. By the early 2020s, it had become closely associated with top-tier special operations forces worldwide. Cold hammer-forged barrels extended service life while maintaining precision even after heavy use. Accuracy combined with durability created a rare balance. Soldiers gained confidence that performance would remain consistent under stress. The deeper lesson was philosophical. The HK-416 demonstrated that revolutionary outcomes do not always require radical redesign. Sometimes small engineering decisions produce transformational results. Militaries took notice. If incremental improvement could reshape reliability, what would happen if doctrine itself changed alongside technology? That question led to a rifle built not for today's battlefield, but for tomorrow's armored conflicts. Number 7. M7, XM7, Next Generation Squad Weapon. For decades, Western infantry doctrine revolved around the 5.56mm cartridge. Lightweight ammunition allowed soldiers to carry more rounds and maintain control during rapid fire. The M7 challenges that entire philosophy. Fielded beginning in 2025 with units such as the 101st Airborne Division, the rifle introduces a new 6.8 x 51mm cartridge designed to defeat advanced body armor at extended distances. This is not simply a new weapon, it represents a doctrinal reset. Modern battlefields increasingly feature improved personal protection systems. Engagement ranges are expanding again. Infantry training now emphasizes precision at distances exceeding 600 meters, reversing years of focus on close-quarters combat alone. The rifle incorporates a free-floating barrel for improved accuracy, advanced optics integration, and recoil mitigation systems designed to handle higher energy output without overwhelming the shooter. Here is the unexpected twist. Technology has pushed warfare forward, yet soldiers are rediscovering older marksmanship principles once considered fading skills. History rarely moves in straight lines. It cycles, adapts, and returns with new context. But while the M7 represents the future, another rifle dominates modern conflicts through sheer numbers rather than innovation, and its lineage stretches back generations. Number 6. AK-12. Few weapon families have demonstrated endurance like the Kalashnikov platform. Introduced in 2018, the AK-12 modernized a design philosophy born during the Cold War while preserving its defining characteristics. Engineers improved ergonomics, added adjustable stocks, incorporated optics rails, and enhanced accuracy without sacrificing simplicity. It remains primarily chambered in 5.45 by 39mm, maintaining compatibility with existing logistics systems. That decision reveals a strategic truth. Military modernization often favors continuity over reinvention. Mass production allowed rapid deployment across Russian forces. In active conflict zones, reliability under harsh conditions frequently outweighs technological sophistication. The AK-12 embodies evolutionary design. Engineers resisted the temptation to replace a proven system entirely. Instead, they refined it carefully, preserving the rugged dependability that made earlier models legendary. Here lies an important insight. Innovation does not always mean abandoning the past. Sometimes survival depends on understanding what already works. Yet, decades earlier, another rifle solved a completely different challenge, not reliability nor power, but compactness. And its unconventional design forced militaries to rethink what a rifle could look like. Number 5. Steyr AUG. When the Steyr AUG appeared in 1977, it seemed to belong to science fiction rather than a military arsenal. Its bullpup configuration placed the magazine behind the trigger group. This shortened the overall length of the rifle while preserving full barrel size. Soldiers gained maneuverability without sacrificing ballistic performance. Urban combat changed immediately. Troops operating inside vehicles or tight environments could move more easily while maintaining accuracy and muzzle velocity comparable to longer rifles. Even more surprising was its integrated optical sight. At a time when many rifles still relied on iron sights, the AUG arrived ready for modern targeting solutions decades ahead of widespread adoption. More than 20 nations eventually adopted the platform. Its success proved unconventional ideas could achieve global acceptance when backed by practical advantages. Yet a paradox emerged. Despite its innovation, traditional rifle layouts never disappeared. Why? Because an older weapon continued to dominate conflicts worldwide, proving familiarity sometimes outweighs futuristic design. And that brings us to a Cold War giant whose influence still echoes today. Number 4. FNFAL. Before lightweight assault rifles dominated infantry doctrine, battle rifles ruled the battlefield with raw power and range. The FNFAL stood at the center of that era. Introduced in 1953, it quickly became one of the most widely adopted military rifles of the Cold War. Chambered in the powerful 7.62 by 51 mm NATO cartridge, the weapon delivered significant stopping power at extended distances, reflecting a time when armies still expected engagements across open terrain rather than dense urban environments. Nicknamed the right arm of the free world, the rifles spread across dozens of allied nations. Europe, Africa, South America, and parts of Asia all fielded variations of the platform. Its global adoption was not accidental. The FAL represented political alignment as much as military capability during a divided world order. Soldiers valued its accuracy and power, but those advantages came with trade-offs. The heavier recoil and weight made automatic fire difficult to control. Ammunition loads were heavier, limiting how much soldiers could carry during extended operations. Here lies the surprising lesson. The FNFAL's dominance revealed the limits of battle rifle doctrine itself. Warfare was changing faster than military planners anticipated. Jungle conflicts, insurgencies, and mobile warfare demanded lighter weapons capable of sustained fire rather than long-range dominance alone. Even so, the rifle refused to disappear. Decades later, variants remain in reserve units and secondary roles across several regions. Military equipment rarely vanishes completely. Instead, it adapts to new purposes as doctrine evolves. And as battle rifles began fading from the frontline service, a newcomer emerged that would redefine infantry combat entirely. Number 3. M16 and M4 platform. The story of the M16 begins not with success, but with crisis. Introduced during the Vietnam War, early versions suffered reliability failures that nearly destroyed confidence in the platform. Soldiers encountered malfunctions under combat conditions, creating one of the most controversial equipment introductions in modern military history. Engineering corrections transformed everything. Chrome-lined chambers, improved maintenance protocols, and ammunition adjustments turned a troubled rifle into one of the most successful firearm families ever produced. More than 8 million units have since been manufactured. That scale alone tells part of the story, but its true influence lies deeper. The M16 introduced lightweight construction and low recoil characteristics that allowed soldiers to carry significantly more ammunition while maintaining accuracy during rapid fire. Infantry tactics shifted accordingly. fire superiority became achievable through controlled volume rather than individual power. Later, the M4 carbine shortened the platform for mechanized infantry and urban warfare environments. Vehicles, helicopters, and confined spaces demanded compact weapons without sacrificing capability. Here is the deeper transformation. The M16 family turned rifles into modular ecosystems. Optics, foregrips, laser designators, and electronic accessories became standard additions rather than specialized upgrades. This shift changed how militaries viewed infantry weapons entirely. The rifle became a customizable platform rather than a fixed tool. Yet, despite its massive influence, even this system could not match the geographical spread of the next rifle in our countdown, because scale sometimes matters more. Number 2. AK-74. By the early 1970s, military planners saw that lighter ammunition improved automatic fire control and allowed soldiers to carry more rounds. The Soviet Union responded with the AK-74, introduced in 1974 as an evolution of the Kalashnikov design. Chambered in 5.453 by 39 mm, it produced reduced recoil and improved burst accuracy under combat stress, mirroring Western shifts towards smaller calibers. Its distinctive muzzle brake reduced barrel climb, enhancing controllability during sustained fire. Small engineering changes delivered real battlefield advantages. Adopted widely across Soviet and Allied forces, the AK-74 achieved lasting global presence, remaining active decades later, though overshadowed by a weapon that became a worldwide symbol. Number 1. AK-47. Few inventions have shaped modern history so profoundly as the AK-47. Introduced in 1949 by Mikhail Kalashnikov, the rifle achieved a rare balance of simplicity, durability, and affordability, enabling mass production on an unprecedented scale. Chambered in 7.62 by 39 mm, it prioritized reliability over precision, functioning in mud, sand, snow, and extreme neglect. Minimal maintenance allowed effectiveness even among poorly trained forces. More than 100 million variants have been produced worldwide, making it one of the most influential tools ever created. Its spread followed 20th-century conflicts, appearing from Southeast Asia to Africa and the Middle East, arming national armies, insurgents, and militias alike. The defining truth is simple. The AK-47 succeeded not through technological superiority, but because it worked almost everywhere for almost anyone. In warfare, consistent function often outweighs perfection. Its influence extended beyond combat, appearing on national flags and political symbolism. By lowering the barrier to armed conflict, it reshaped global power dynamics and allowed smaller forces to challenge larger armies, a legacy that continues today. Infantry weapons ultimately tell the human story of war. Technology evolves, but reliability, adaptability, and practicality remain the qualities that endure. Like, share, subscribe, and tell us which rifle changed modern warfare the most and why.